And
So
this seems to be conflict within the GNU, bro.
like right now, I remember the first instance when who's the leader of the DA again? Not
Oh,
Helen Zille.
John
The
Steinhazen.
Steenhazen
Sure, sure.
went on to threaten the ANC when
Mm.
the BELA right was going to be signed, and they were like, "Yeah, we're gonna go out," and then the ANC stood their ground, and when they stood their ground, the DA now went on the next day to say just because we have misunderstandings doesn't mean we're
We
gonna
want
have
out.
to we want out, blah 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 blah. Okay, so now that the ANC is now not agreeing with the DA in Tshwane with this premier, they decided to ask to oust the DA's premier, and they deciding to team up now with the Action SA in how Tshwane is gonna be run.
Yeah,
You know, so now that got them mad, that got the DA mad. So now with this tension going on, brother, I'm wondering what's gonna happen to the GNU.
I think now with what is happening is the DA is trying to downplay everything that is happening in Tshwane,
Okay.
and they're trying to shift their attention away from it as if it wasn't a DA mayor that is failing to deliver service delivery. And it's not like it's something new to us black people or to the black communities that are in a space where the DA is in power.
Yeah.
We've been saying the same thing about Khayelitsha, that they have deserted Khayelitsha.
But-
You would think Khayelitsha is not in Western Cape.
Yeah.
Looking at the kind of services they are getting.
Yeah, but all the suburbs, all where the white people stay, is more developed. It's like Alexander and Sandton in type of way. So now so now that's why now apparently, so since it was the D that's been in charge, but they were working hand in hand with Action SA. Now Action SA claims that the reason they're fighting with DA is because now they don't want another Khayelitsha in Tshwane. So now, but they were working together. So this was happening while they were both in partnership. So now that the ANC has decided to, okay, DA, we don't want to stand with you on this matter of ruling Tshwane.
Sure.
Let us work with Action SA. What does that mean for the GNU? Because right now, the ANC and DA don't agree with the BELA right. They don't agree. They don't agree with
Even with taking the land back,
establishing
establishing a state-owned bank, they don't agree on so many things.
so many things.
No.
Even right now with the now ousting the DA mayor, it means now the ANC is saying, DA, you're not running this place correctly.
But
we don't like how you run things.
You know what I've seen, I think, within the GNU, what they've tried to do is that ANC has tried to separate itself from what is being done by ANC in Gauteng. You see, in the GNU, which is a nationwide thing, it's a national thing, it's on a national level. We're talking about the National Assembly, we're talking about the cabinet. But then now when it comes to provincial matters, is that the ANC has kind of said to the ANC in Gauteng that you guys do what you think is best for Gauteng.
Yeah.
If you feel like you don't agree with some of the conditions that DA is putting forward, disagree.
Yeah.
And if you guys have to get into coalition with the other parties outside of DA, do so. And the DA, as much as they said, we're getting into this GNU, not to go there and try to say we're going to agree on everything. But everything will be put up for debate. We will talk about it. And if maybe it needs us to sit down and resolve it, because there's no way in which both parties are going to agree with each other on everything. There are going to be differences. But we still need to remember what brought us together. So what is also happening with the DA is that the DA now, they will try somehow the same way they were doing with the BELA Bill to say, it's not like we want out of the GNU. Because like you said last time, they have tested power.
Yeah.
They know what it feels like to be inside.
No, but really, they haven't really tasted power, because right now, for the moment, they've just been given the seat And then now they're trying to implement, they've just been given the seat at the table of power, you can say. But now, when they try to exercise their power, they're coming to the realization, as the ANC said when this GNU or coalition happened in the beginning, that the DAO doesn't have any power. Now they're going to come to the realization that even when they scream, they shout like spoiled brats, the ANC might not even budge. Because they screamed about the BELA rights. We're gonna go out, and then they swallowed their words the next day.
So you feel like that is the DA now putting a tail between their legs to say, as much as we've tasted power, we may have disagreements, but it's not like we're gonna want out. We want in, and
and like they want in, and they want to. I think they want to put themselves as those type of people who are resilient, who didn't just want to give up, because we knew that the ANC is corrupt, the country is in shambles. But right now, just because we didn't have the power, whatever power we're going to have, whatever little thing they're going to give us, we're going to try to impress. Even though when they're going to try to do that the ANC might seem that, hey, it might put DA in good light and ANC in bad light. The ANC might not give them that job to do. Because right now the DA will look in good light more than the ANC, and then that looks bad for us. Rather we do it better.
And then now, like, let's look at what is happening in Gauteng. Hammanskraal, for example. The people have not had water for some time now. And if you check, Hammanskraal is under Gauteng. The mayor, I think it's under Pretoria. It's under Pretoria, right? Yeah, the mayor of Pretoria was Cilliers Brink. And then he's been ousted. They have removed him for poor service delivery. That's where now you said that the Action SA had to come in and give their vote to ANC to say, this guy is failing to deliver for the black communities that are in Gauteng. Then is the DA now going to say that was a political move or that was a good move? Because they say they like accountability. They're one of the cleanest audited provinces or government ever, wherever they're running.
Just to think of it, if they wanna talk about a good track record, when I look at it, I feel like if the DA was ever to be in power, all the places where there's like black people are gonna be like marginalized, and all the white places will be enriched in terms of high security. Always the roads, spot on traffic, all those type of things. The food will be way expensive, even the jobs will be hard to get, and then now we can't even afford to stay in those places. Segregation might happen in a different type of way,
I think that's what happened in Western Cape, because if you check, the black communities have been marginalized for some time. In terms of service delivery, they have not been getting that much. And then you check like white suburbs, estates, and everything else.
I'm still trying to understand, bro. Like people in Cape Town still living in shacks, Nkukwini, bro. So what happened to RDPs? When they're supposed to be RDPs also in like Cape Town, dog?
And while you're still talking about RDPs, there's I think it's still Khayelitsha and some other comic townships there that are like black dominated or color dominated. They still have those toilets where, what do they call those toilets?
Umgodi.
No, not Umgodi. Where you shit inside a bucket and then you go and put it where the municipality is going to come and collect it.
Oh, yeah.
What do they call those toilets?
So no, I feel like it's
VIP toilet
tunnels. They like those ones that are for rent, and funerals, and parties,
those kind of toilets. So
like how in the world, bro? Like how in the world is still that even possible in South Africa, though? Like bro, we have villages. Like I think ANC has done a better job than the DA, because like when you come to even our villages, bro, our villages have better like toilets, bro. They dig down. How healthy is that, bro? Now kids will be there around that toilet. What end is that plastic?
I don't think it's more of an issue of how healthy is it. It's just an issue of the DA taking care of people they know they will benefit from, people who are funding their party, and neglecting those ones who they feel like they don't need anything beside their vote. And these political parties, bro, when it's time for you to vote for them, they will show up. They'll even give you food, they'll give you money, they'll give you clothing. They'll give you that T-shirt 5 times a week.
So now, brother, like, what is this with this DA, with this DA playing these tantrums? Because right now they're just pulling tantrums, but they're not taking any action. You know, they just pulling tantrums. We're gonna do this. Blah 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 blah. We're happy that you ousted Cilliers Brink. Blah 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 blah. They just making noise, right? But they said, okay, if they want to debate about what the ANC is doing, what they're agreeing, they decided in private how they're gonna work this thing out, right? And then now, why are they playing tantrums instead of going to the back room again and talking together? Yo, guys, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? And sorting it out. Because right now, I just feel like everything is just played. They just portraying. They just want to play games, mind games with us. They're just doing it for us. Like, I don't get it.
So it's just a show.
It's just a show at the end of the day.
And you know what?
Because maybe they don't want to stand against one of their own being
but what's wrong with the DA going and saying Cilliers Brink has failed in Pretoria? Because they say they stand for accountability. That's the same thing they say that made them get into the GNU. They want to hold whoever that is in power accountable from within. Why can't they come out and admit that we failed in Pretoria, we set out this and we couldn't do it, we couldn't deliver? It's that simple.
No, I think the funny part about it is like when they talk about accountability, they want to hold people who have been in charge accountable. They've not been in charge. So when we talk about accountability, we talk about what I've done. I'm accountable to what I've done. So now, are they accountable for Khayelitsha? Are they accountable for the towns that they have neglected in the provinces that they have been in charge? Are they accountable for that? Let's first start there before we talk about them being accountable for the country. You know,
because there's that thing where there are people who say there are some parties that are good as opposition party, and not so good when it's time for them to lead. Some people, not me, some people have said the same thing about the EFF. They said that the EFF is very radical. And no, it's not even very. It's too radical to lead the country. They are good opposing. Because if they lead and they have to set the tone for what happens, the country will end up being a disaster. I don't agree with that, but you know, that's other people's opinion about the EFF.
That's a point to think of, because personally, you know, maybe before that guy left. Who's this one?
Floyd.
Floyd left. You know, like in a way, I understand EFF's mandates, and then like I feel like they're good as opposition parties because they are able, you know, to point out whoever's leading mistakes. You know, other parties maybe because they are somehow in partnership, or maybe their investors are the same. You know, they can't hold each other accountable for certain things, you know. ANC can hold all the accountability.
All the accountability.
So like
the EFF part.
The EFF, so that they are able to call out mistakes, because maybe like certain times I feel like that the reason the ANC divided into the ANC, EFF and MK was because like there was a radical side and a captured side, captured by the white capitalists. And I feel like the ANC that's left now is the white capitalist ANC. And then now the investors are probably similar to the investors of the DA and other political parties, you know. So now what I'm thinking is that's the reason they can't call each other out, because they know we've got the same investors. We have similar interests in line. You understand? So right now, the DA, if they want to talk about accountability in terms of pointing out who did something wrong in the ANC, who was corrupt, blah, 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 blah. Okay, it's fine. Now, let's check your people. Let's put your people in charge. They put a racist guy in parliament. They put that nigga, they put a racist guy in parliament. Oh, are you accountable for that? No, we took him out. But if you were really accountable people, you would have done your research before you put that guy there.
Yeah,
now, okay, number two. Now you put a guy to run for Tshwane, to be mayor of Tshwane for so long, and he hasn't been delivered to the majority of the people. Now, what do you say about that? You go on and defend that guy. So, what accountability is actually the DA talking about? Because it is not accountable for the things.
I think the one thing that they think makes them accountable is being able to hold other people accountable, which is much more easier, bro. Even in life, it's much more easier to see the mistake of someone else.
Other people.
Yes, but then when it comes to you seeing your own mistake, it becomes something that even when somebody points it out, sometimes it even makes you angry when people point out it's your mistake. But then when it's your turn to do the same, you don't see any problem.
You don't see any mistake. Yeah, that's for sure, bro.
And there seems to be this, I don't know. I wanted to talk about the back and forth that's happening in Gauteng between Panyaza Lesufi and these, I don't know if to say the racist parties or to say so-called allegedly racist parties, or they seem to be not for the progression of black people. DA and AfriForum.
Yeah.
There's a back and forth every now and then. You spoke about the NHI bill. We spoke about the BELA Bill. Those are there to try and improve the livelihood of black people. Guess who's opposing those?
Like, okay. Okay, majority of the BELA Bill that I got, because you see me, this BELA Bill is still confusing to me.
Still confusing.
So now, like, majority of it is like schools, talking about schools, how schools are going to be run. Okay. How is it? Like, it's not like the type of education that's going to appear in school is going to be different. It's not like kids are going to be taught how to be plumbing, tiling from a young age. They're going to be told skills that if you can't get employed, you're gonna create it. You're gonna be able to create a job for yourself.
Sure.
You know, it's not like, you know. So like, what's all this fuss even about the BELA Bill? I'm just looking at it as probably rules of how maybe whoever is at the top running this education thing is gonna chop money, because
from the BELA Bill being introduced.
How does it improve maybe a life of an 18-year-old, a life of a 25-year-old?
I think what it actually does, bro, it's not necessarily improve the life of an 18-year-old directly, but it tries to even the playing field, where now there used to be certain languages that are deemed to be more important when it comes to learning. Like today, if you go to universities such as UNISA, you're going to find that there's a paper in Afrikaans, the same paper is there's a paper in English, right? And the same paper is translated in Afrikaans for Afrikaans speaking people. Why can't it be done the same thing for the other languages? So what they're trying to do is offer special privileges to certain kind of people. Yeah, cool.
When it comes to that, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking, well, in the whole world, maybe English is the most spoken language, right?
Sure.
So that maybe gives advantage to the black person.
Yeah.
You could get
that is so. That everywhere. Sure.